Kristy, Hannah, welcome to the show. Excited to have you both on today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So for people who haven't heard of the two of you or seen, the two of you's countless workouts that you've posted together on TikTok, Instagram, that sort of thing, could you kind of bring us up to date with who you are and what you've done, where you've been?
Yeah, so my name's Hannah Guthrie. I'm a third year environmental health major at the University of Georgia. I'm currently in the process of getting my certifications in personal training and nutrition, as well on top of my undergraduate degree. I'm currely prepping for my first bodybuilding competition.
That's really exciting. Wow.
About. Pretty cool. I got into fitness. Well, I played sports, competitive sports throughout high school and middle school and things like that. So I've been into weightlifting for sports for 8-9 years now. But I just started kind of working for myself, my own physique and things like that, probably about 3 years ago.
That's awesome.
Totally a different ball game, but weightlifting has really helped me coming out of sports and athletics to find like a competitive outlet that
definitely. What sport did you play?
I played softball. I was a pitcher.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. It's hard to hit a softball. I used to play baseball many years ago, and I had a friend who played softball, and she threw pitches at me different times, and they just move all differently. I could not make heads or tails of it.
Yeah, because the ball moves from like a lower plane to a higher plane rather than baseball where it moves up to down.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
And the wind up too. Like she did this one where she started spinning her arm, but like she released the ball but kept spinning her arm. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Can't make heads or tails of it, but again, that's a story for another time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm Kristy Ward. I just graduated from UGA. I graduated with a business administration degree and a focus in supply chain operations with a legal certificate.
That's a mouthful. Wow.
It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I'm still trying to find a job, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, just graduated. I was always active growing up. I was a competitive baton twirler and a cheerleader. And then when I got to college, I quit doing all of that. I gained like 10 to 15 pounds in my first semester and was like, yeah, this isn't what I want to do. Made it my New Year's resolution in 2019 to start working out, went to a gym and just started weightlifting and haven't went back since. I received my ACE certified personal trainer certification in January of 2021. And then I was a group fitness instructor. I worked at a supplement shop up until graduation. And then I was training for my first powerlifting meet when I broke my foot. And so now we're just rehabbing my foot, and then we'll get back into bodybuilding or powerlifting after that.
So how did you break your foot?
It was very on brand for me. So I was benching and I hit 135, so I hit a PR. And then I was helping my friend unload his weights. He had 275 on the bar. So it was 2 45s and a 25 pound. I went to go pull out the first 45 pound, not even seeing the first 25 because I just wasn't paying attention. And the 25 pound came right off the bar and straight down onto my foot. I didn't brace or anything, didn't see it. And it just hit the top and it fractured my whole first metatarsal, like right down the center.
That sounds painful. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Last time you ever spot him again, huh?
Literally. And I was 5 weeks out from my first power meet. So I had to drop out of that. And then I went to the doctor and they were like, yeah, like 3 months, no deadlifting or squatting. And I was like, okay. Yeah.
I told her upper body is going to get super strong now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Now, that's what we're working on now.
Maybe with like your upper body getting bigger, your legs will somehow get bigger because they have to move like, I don't know.
I'm just eating all the food, trying to maintain all that muscle in my legs, and we'll see how it goes.
So do you do like single leg squats and stuff on the good leg?
Yes, I do pistol squats on my left leg. My right foot's the one that's broken, and I can do abductions, adductions, leg extensions, and leg curls. And that's my leg day right now.
I'm sure that gets real old real quick.
It's really boring. It's terrible.
How have you found a way to spice it up? Like, do you change up the music or anything like that at least? Or
I mean, since I've moved recently out of Athens, I've been changing up gyms, so that helps a little bit. So I'm not in the same space, but I have terrible taste in gym music, so
what do you listen
that
to?
hasn't changed.
She's a Taylor Swift kind of girl while working out.
It's really terrible. Like,
Who
I
broke your
love
heart,
physical.
girl? What did he do to you?
So many. But yeah, so that's kind of me.
Well, I guess he didn't break your heart. He broke your foot,
Yeah,
technically
exactly.
speaking. But wow.
Yes,
This time.
Yeah.
We went through it all.
Oh man, wow. That's quite the story. Holy cow. Quite the experiences. So I take it you're both rooting for Alabama in the bowl game that's coming up here.
Yeah, you'd like to think
totally.
so.
So did you both meet while you were at Georgia, or how did you two like come in contact with each other?
So that's okay. So this is the cute thing, and this just shows you have to be nice, and then you'll find friends. Because we have a dear sweet friend that we always post with. His name's Owen. He's 16, and he worked with me at the supplement shop I was working at. And there's two big gyms in Athens. There's Crunch and there's Athens Health. I have worked at Crunch for like 2 years, or I did. And she always went to Athens Health, so we never ran into each other that way. And then we started following each other like March of 2020. We have no idea how that happened, but we just knew each other from Instagram, but never talked. And we found out that like Owen was friends with her, and she found out that Owens was friends with me. And we both went up to Owen. We're like, who is that girl? She's like so cool. Like, who is that? And so we both did that to him. He was like, y'all would be great friends. So he put us in a group message on Instagram, and he was like, hey, Hannah, this is Kristy. Kristy, this is Hannah. Y'all be friends now.
He was like, I've done my job.
Like, I'm just gonna leave this here. And so we never really like talked. Like, we did a little bit that time, but it was kind of like we didn't know what to say. And so I started going to Athens Health too, and then we ran into each other, and I invited her to a Halloween party, and like since that night, like just seen each other ever since.
Wow. So did you both work out in the morning? Like, are you both up and at it, or were you more like night owls, or how did you two like connect from the gym side of things?
So she typically teaches her group classes in the mornings. Mm-hmm. So occasionally I think you'll work out in the morning before or after.
Yeah.
I am not a morning person. So I typically do my workouts anywhere from like 3 to 7 in the evening. But I think we ran into each other one afternoon evening workout.
Yeah. I think you had a test that day, and I think that me and Owen came after work, and so it was like 8 or 9. It was a later night.
So we met late, which was probably the only time you were going to meet me, because it's pretty rare to catch me at the gym in the morning.
Not a morning person, huh?
No.
Not even after that double dry scoop of pre-workout or whatever?
Yeah, no.
No. She needs all the carbs in her system.
I feel like when I wake up, like my muscles just aren't awake either. Like my eyes and my brain will wake up long before my body does.
I've been there before. Like, I don't know, you have a long night, maybe you're out, maybe you do things you probably shouldn't have done, but you did anyways because someone told you to. And you wake up the next day and it's like, wow, why did I do that? Like, what am I gonna do today? And yeah, the day just passes you by so quick. But
yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I admire people who can get up and get their day started with a workout, but it just could not be me.
That's the thing though, is they don't tell you about morning workouts, because I was that person, because I would teach my group fitness classes from anywhere from 6 a.m. till like 9 a.m. And so I'd always be in the gym working out around 7. I didn't realize it, but I was not lifting heavy. As soon as I started working out at night, my weights like increased dramatically.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my body's not awake yet.
It's not it. Morning time's for cardio, people. I'm convinced. Cardio, CrossFit, all of that, get it done in the morning. If you're weightlifting or powerlifting, you gotta wait until you have some food in your system.
Plus, if I work out in the morning, there's just nothing to look forward to for the rest of the 100%. Day. So I like to save it and have something to look forward to.
And like, because after morning workouts,
then
like, you just go to school and then you do homework and then you eat. And it's like, that's a boring day.
See, I kind of break that mold a little bit. 99% of the time, I'm the guy that wakes up and works out. But it's not just like a, feel good Taylor Swift music kind of workout like you do. It's more of a, I wake up and I'm kind of irritated because for some reason I set my alarm to 4:30 in the morning. And then I kind of back that with some kind of rage music, like Bring Me the Horizon or Rage Against the Machine, something like that. And the next thing I know, I'm just pissed off at the world. So I go and, work out for like 70, 80 minutes. And then I get out and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling good. And that kind of gives me some energy for the day. But yeah, sometimes it just becomes an outlet for like emotion and that sort of thing, right?
Yes, definitely 100%. I let it build up first. I let the world make me angry first, and then I'll go work out.
Right. And if you work out later in the day, then you get a nice pump, and then you can carry that into whatever nightlife it is that you did at University of Georgia. I'm sure it's a tiny private school that, it's probably in the middle of nowhere. Dry campus, I'm sure. So
we may or may not always plan to go to the gym before we go out to get a good pump.
You have to look nice when you go out.
Yeah, maybe take some pump pills.
If you're gonna wear like a tank top.
That sounded wrong there. Pump pills. Oh my gosh. What are you two taking, like little blue pills before you hit your Halloween lift or something like that?
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
Clearly I'm doing something wrong here. Jeez. Wow.
You heard her say she was in the supplement industry.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant.
So I worked at a little tiny store. They were new. And so they sold all sort of supplements, and that's all they sold. And so, of course, with that employee discount, we tried some things, some like pump products that we usually wouldn't try before because I had a discount. So why not? So the pump pills, there's one called 24-hour pump. And what it does is it just like increases your your blood flow. And so just the same thing as a pump powder does, or like L-citrulline, anything like that, but it's just different ingredients that do it. There was one that's called anabolic pump, and it had like different ingredients. So basically all these different pump pills, they just had different ingredients, like whether it's L-citrulline, niacin, whatever, that would just increase your blood flow, but you could take all of them because none of them counteract each other. So you just got an insane pump.
Gotcha. Interesting. So it's like almost like muscle Viagra, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like people take like Cialis and stuff before going to the gym.
Yes. We have not done that.
As like vasodilators. Yeah.
Okay. I have not done that myself either.
Me either.
Yeah. I'm kind of old school, or I'm like, I wake up and I'm mixing different things in my little shaker cup. Like I'm like unflavored citrulline, carnitine, and then salt. I love taking salt before I work out. Keeps the water in. Yeah.
Yes.
Too.
And salt has iodine, and iodine is needed to produce thyroid hormone, which regulates your metabolism. See, now I'm getting into that nerdy doctorate school side of things. But you develop these little hacks kind of just by trial and error. I think I'll try anything once, right?
Yeah. That's called your workout cocktail. All that stuff.
Yep. Yeah,
it's like 6 different powders, the salt, everything.
Yeah, there's a time where I was doing straight cayenne pepper because someone said online in a study that it boosted fat burning. And another study said it produced stronger grip strength. So me being the PubMed ranger that I was like, okay, well, increased fat burning and get stronger. That sounds good to me. So again, fueling those rage sessions even more. My mouth would be on fire when I go to the gym, but I had good workouts, so it must have counted for something.
That's all that matters.
Right? Gains by any means necessary, right?
Exactly.
So earlier you mentioned something about how you need carbs before you go to the gym. I have to ask, what is it about girls and carbs? Like I've seen girls crushing these like Rice Krispy treats before they go to the gym, or like they go to like Chipotle right afterwards, like almost every single day. Like what is it about girls and carbs? Like I can't quite wrap my head around that yet.
Well, it started as like a bodybuilder thing. Like that's what you saw is like bodybuilders, they would have carbs, and it's just to like get the pump better and you just feel better. And then it just became like more like there's intracarbs and intercarbs, and wait, what is it, like pre-workout carbs, intra and post-workout. There we go, there's the word. So that's what I do is I'll have carbs like on the way to the gym. I'll used to have like a Rice Krispie or something is what I'm on right now, and then I'll have just powder carbs with my BCAAs during my workout, and then I'll go have my post-workout meal. So it's just making sure all the carbs, and that way you get a really good pump, and then it's also just better for your muscle recovery as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I come from a very different school of thought, but what I like to say is
Really?
everyone is different, and if it works for
Yeah.
you, then it works for you.
100%.
And clearly, I am not getting the pumps that you are and getting the response that you are from social media. I think I have like 150 followers on TikTok right now, so I do need to up my TikTok game a little bit here.
TikTok's fun. She doesn't like it. She's more Instagram.
I do like it. I'm just terrible at it. I feel like it's too new for me. I can't figure it out.
I just don't get how like I'll post like a video and it'll be something ridiculous and it'll get like, 1,000 likes. And then I'll post something that actually has like information and helps people and it'll get like 2. And
Yeah.
I can't quite figure it out.
That's how it is. And that's how it is too. Like I had some videos that were just like, they were doing like, okay, I mean, like whatever. But then I posted one that was just like really raw and like about like depression and stuff. And it took off. And I was like, people like to see other people sad. That's what it is.
Misery loves company.
Yeah.
I've heard that expression before, but I've never thought about it in like TikTok context, if that makes sense.
It works,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, that
People
and
really get in their feels scrolling through TikTok and they're like, yeah, I can relate to that. I'll like that.
Because most of the time people are on TikTok, like, or at least like right now, especially during Christmas break with all the students and everything, they're at home, they're wanting to go back to school and they're laying in bed scrolling on TikTok. They're sad too. That's just what it is. It's relatability.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like, what is it, the algorithm or something like that? Like what
Yeah.
people's algorithm is. Yeah. Mine is kind of random. I don't know what yours is, but like I'll get fitness stuff and then I'll get like random conspiracy theories that I may or may not believe in. And then I'll get like dark humor all of a sudden. And then it just kind of cycles through those things over and over and over again. Every now and then I get a food thing too. I do like the food ones. Some handy recipes on there. Yeah.
That's all I had for like a few months span was just like what I eat in a day and stuff like that popping up on mine.
That's good ideas.
It always made me hungry though.
Yeah.
That's true.
And there was like a week time span where all I heard was bing bong over and over and over again.
That was the
We actually made
What
one
is
of
this?
That was, I think, maybe our first TikTok we ever made together was our Bing Bong one. It was a fun one.
Did it blow up? Did it go viral?
It's actually, yeah, my most
It
viewed
actually did
video.
pretty good,
It has like
yeah.
300,000 views, like 40,000 likes, I think.
Now,
Something like
do you
that.
get like a trophy or an award when that happens? Like, what happens when you actually go viral? Because I clearly have not.
Literally nothing.
Like literally nothing.
Yeah, literally nothing.
Just like bragging rights.
I wouldn't know.
Literally nothing. Like it's really weird because you'll just get like messages and stuff from just like, and just, I don't know, like your phone will go off and it's just like, what? Like people like that video out of all videos?
Yeah, for real. So when it comes to like the messages that you get on like TikTok and that sort of stuff, do you ever get some real like winners messaging you like some unique things?
So
Or-
that's the good part about TikTok is people can only message you if you follow them too.
Okay.
So that is the good thing. I will have, we do have some of those, some weird Instagram requests.
Yeah, so I
Um,
actually have my Instagram set up that way as well to where people can't DM me unless I follow them back or I accept it. But I can still see my DM requests.
Yeah.
So that's always fun to look through. I definitely have some weird ones. I actually had a guy recently, I think it was a guy, I don't know. There's always just those accounts that you just
don't
can't
know.
tell.
Yeah, they have like
Somebody
2
was trying to-
followers and no picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody was trying to buy my my used gym socks recently. I was like, I mean, how much? Though?
I mean, I got an envelope.
No, I just get a good laugh out of stuff like that and just don't respond, obviously. But
Yeah.
That cracks me up because we had a discussion on something similar with a girl named Katie a while back on the podcast. And we were talking about some guy that offered to buy a pair of gym shorts, but only after they were worked out in. And
yeah,
it's like,
Yeah,
I'm not that short for money right now, but if I ever am, I will keep you in
yeah,
mind.
I'll let you know.
That's the thing. I'm telling you, being in the middle of college and not like having a job secured yet, I'm like, I probably am desperate right now. I don't need those DMs coming in because they're tempting.
Oh
Yeah, I
man.
also had another one. I had a guy the other day, like, just DM me out of the blue, who would win in an arm wrestle.
Yes.
And I was like, what do you want me to say to that? Like,
And he'll
probably
send a
me,
picture of
but
his
I don't
bicep.
know.
Like, he'll send a picture of his bicep and he's like, who would win, me or you?
And his bicep was probably like that big around.
Regardless, I'm like, probably me, but I don't, like, why are you asking that?
Yeah, I would put my money on you, especially like, if you were in one of those states where, Kristy made you wake up early, you weren't feeling it that day, maybe you had a long night, whatever. I would definitely put my
Adrenaline.
money on you.
Yeah, arm wrestling's all about form over strength, though.
That's true.
I've
Yeah.
seen some skinny dudes beat like buff
True.
bodybuilding dudes just because they have better form in an arm wrestle.
What is it about skinny guys that they seem like, it seems like to me, now I might have to cut this out depending on where this goes, but like skinny guys kind of get their way with things. And then like you got guys like some of us who, we weigh 180, 190. We have a low body fat percentage, but we've got some like extra like bulk like on our back, like a little extra thickness and width and stuff. And people just pass us up and pass us by. And they're like, there's like the skinny guy thing and the dad bod thing, but there's not like anything for those in between.
We have it.
Yes, I like this. I was actually curious where this was going at first too.
Was too.
But yeah, that's actually an interesting, I'm low-key opinionated, so like you may have to cut this out just in case I'm like opinionated, but I think there tends to be a lot of females who aren't necessarily as secure with themselves and their body and their body image, that they want, like, they're drawn more to guys who don't have like a great physique or things like that. Like I'm sure you've seen like the dad bod thing,
Mm-hmm.
like girls talking about how they love dad bods and stuff. Now there may be girls out there who actually do like that kind of thing, but more often than not, I'm thinking that's due to the fact that they're not as secure with themselves and they're not as secure with their body. So they don't want to see you looking better than them and doing better than them and putting in more work than them.
That's where I was kind of thinking with the same thing, because everybody does have their type. There's always going to be exceptions and all that stuff. But the thing is, it's like girls who see, and I've like had guys feel this way too. It's like, well, I'm in the gym 6 days a week working hard on myself, and that's intimidating to some people, I think. And it's just like, you don't want to see, like, say even if you live with your boyfriend or something and you're getting up to go to the gym every day, it's like, well, how does that make them feel? And I think that's where it comes more into girls, because there's already so much social media about what you should look like and everything. Girls are already insecure as is. Like, there's things that we talk about that we don't like just because like that's norm nowadays. And so when a guy is like so fit and working on himself, I feel like that just draws girls more into their insecurity. So they would rather be with someone more on their playing field or even below, just because to kind of secure themselves, where
make
it's
them
not
feel
putting
better
them down.
about themselves.
Right. So should guys like not go to the gym then, or should guys that go to the gym only look for girls that go to the gym, or what's the best path forward on that?
That's my favorite. Like, it's like if I'm putting in the work, and also it's just like a quality time thing, right? If you are with someone that also goes to the gym, that's an hour and a half, 2 hours a day that y'all could be spending together every day. Mm-hmm. And also the people that are into the gym and are really into how, like, not even how they look, but just like mental health and all of that clarity and stuff like that, they're going to be the only ones that are going to understand tracking food, like why you're going to go work out instead of going to hang out with the XYZ this day or whatever. I feel like it's just more of a lifestyle thing, and that's what I'm attracted to, is like someone that understands my choices and I understand theirs.
Yeah, personally, I think the last thing that guys or girls should be worried about is girls or guys, like the opposite gender. Like, I think people need to put themselves first and put their health first. Like, I think the last thing guys who are going to the gym should be worried about is like, oh, I'm going to go do this to go get girls.
That's kind of been my pet peeve as well. And it kind of gets annoying when you go to the gym to improve yourself and fight whatever personal demons you're facing. And then you got, this group over here of 4 people who, they just took the plyometric box and set it up as a coffee table for their bags and shakers. They're not going to use it, but it's like social hour for them. And that has actually happened before. I could there's all kinds of unique stories you get from going to the gym of just like what other people do. And, you know, it's not anything that I want to judge. Like, I'm glad people go to the gym, but if you go to the gym, like, please work out and don't just stand around and talk for an hour. Like, you know, we could go to the club later or the bar. There wasn't any clubs where I went to college. I did not go to University of Georgia. It was like maybe like 10% of the size of University of Georgia. It's like, you know, save it for later, not now. Like, you're just throwing your whole game off, you know?
No, for sure. I mean, even if like going back to just like getting people at the gym, because you can start that way for sure. I'll admit, I'll be the first to admit, I was going to the gym because a guy had just like cheated on me, broken up with me. And I was like, I'm going to go get my revenge body. Like, that's how I started. But here I am. And you like find that deeper love for it if it's for you. And I think that there is like a physical activity that, because everyone should be active just for health reasons, but it doesn't just mean that you need to go weight lift. Like, some people like running, some people like boxing, CrossFit. I don't know how, that's a lot, but like, but just stuff like that. And I think that like, even if you start for an external reason, as long as you find that internal love for it, then like that's what really matters. And that's what it should be in the long run.
Plus, to me, there's nothing more attractive than someone like out there bettering themselves who could have like less of a care in the world like about you or what you're doing. They're just focused on themselves. Like, that's something you can see and you can like feel in the air when someone is just like there for themselves and like keeping their head down, doing what they need to do. Like, we pick up on those things rather than a guy with a staring problem at the gym, you know, like trying to figure out how to come up and talk to you.
Right. Well, you can't pour from an empty cup after all. And, you know, if you're a guy or a girl or whatever out there who, you know, wants to attract someone that you're interested in, the best thing you can do is put your head down and keep bettering yourself. Because if you are not fulfilled as like a person, then you're not going to be able to provide for them regardless of what they want in life or what their expectations are, right? You know, they might not really want much. They might want like, what's the Florida Georgia Line song, like 10% down, white picket fence house on some dirt somewhere. Like, that might be all they wanted, and you might be able to provide that for them. But the more that you improve yourself, the more you're going to be able to provide that for them. So maybe instead of, you know, 10 acres on that 10% down white picket fence house, maybe you give them 100, right? Now you got some hunting land. Go play around with that, right? So always push yourself for better and never settle with just being good enough, because you won't ever find out if it is enough until you find out. And boy, it sucks when you come up short.
Yeah, and like exactly, like setting your standards, and like I feel like you don't know what your standards are until you're very secure with yourself. Because there's going to be someone out there, especially with like social media. Now you have access to meeting so many more people nowadays. Like, you can find someone that is exactly what you want, but how are you going to know what you want if you're not secure like with who you are and what you actually want to do with your life?
Yeah. And I've always lived by the statement to not look for the one, become the one. So like, become the person that you would want to date or that you would want to be for someone else, rather than just like looking for the one or the person that you need to make yourself complete. Like, you should be able to be complete on your own.
This is getting deep. I should have worn my boots for this.
This went off fitness a little.
Yeah, this was not scripted. Like, I feel like this is like a therapy session right now. Like, could we schedule these like weekly or something like that?
Same time next week.
So clearly you two have developed like quite the connection from going and working out and stuff. So how do you develop friends at the gym? Like, do you two, like you said, you talked about how you met, but how did you continue to grow and cultivate your friendship, so to speak?
So this also kind of comes a little bit outside of fitness.
This is gonna go off on a little tangent too.
Oh boy.
So what had happened was
throw back to my comment about misery loves company.
Yes. We were both in a very, we should have reached out to each other, because when Owen sent out that first message, like, hey, be friends, we did not know this about each other, but we were both in a very dark place. I actually had ended my 2.5-year relationships and we were living together. So it was a lot to go through. And Owen helped me with that. And then she was also going through like her own stuff, just like balancing school, balancing her relationship and everything that she has going on as well. And so that when we did meet and we went to that, we met up on Halloween, I think we kind of went in a little bit to that, maybe.
Yeah, we really just bonded, like talking more. I just remember several times we would just walk on the treadmill and just start talking. And we just kind of realized, like, wow, I wish we would have found each other like just a couple months earlier. Because both of us, like, since then, I mean, how long have we known each other now? 6 months, maybe? 4 months?
No.
4 months, not that long.
2 months, dude. October 31st is when we became friends.
So
and it feels like we've known each other for like years.
Yeah, but we've really just kind of just been drawn to one another and just really helped each other, like pull each other out of dark places and help to push each other and motivate each other. And we've had a lot of like very bright things happen to us together. Like both of us actually got our first sponsorship from PE Science together. So that's a whole nother bonding experience, that just seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, like when we've been through so much and just starting to see like good things happen to us together, has just like brought us closer.
Yeah, because that was like a dream that like we both had. But personally, I can't speak for Hannah on this, but personally, I never thought like I would be sponsored by anyone. Like I would love to pursue my goals in fitness, but like it's nothing I ever saw like happening, and nothing I was really truly working for. I was just having fun and like doing fitness and just like loving it. And then all of a sudden, like us together, like that fell into our laps, and like that was a big, I think, like life milestone. That's just like, wow, that's cool that I did that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's amazing that you did it together, right? It wasn't something, maybe you wouldn't have done it on your own. Hey, maybe you two working together made that possible.
Yeah. I mean, because we got the email and she got it first because she had emailed back quicker to the person, and I got it second. But when I got it, we were at the gym and we were both in the locker room, and we both just sat on the floor and like cried. It's like, this is like what, like this is it, like this,
because I already knew, like I had already seen it, and I was just like, you need to email them back, like I'm not going to say anything else, you just need to email them back and let me know when they respond. And then she got it, and I got to see like her excitement and stuff opening it and like getting to find out like that opportunity that she had, which was really awesome.
Yeah, and it was just like you said, like it was just great that we had that experience together, and we just both got to feel that together.
That's so cute. I feel like
we have a cute friendship.
I feel like if Disney made like a movie about like people that go to the gym, we would be like listening to the plot right here now. So do you two do like, I don't know what I want to say here, but do you like write each other's workouts and like help each other with meal prep? Are you like on that level yet, or not quite?
No, we talk about like meal prep and stuff. We're like, hey, we need to like get on our stuff now.
Yeah, we both do meal prep. We don't typically do it together, but there's definitely an accountability aspect. Like, oh, I need to like go home and meal prep. Like, okay, just go do it. Like,
yeah, or like posting, like stuff like that too. Just like being consistent with what we are trying to do. And then, I mean, because the thing is right now we both love bodybuilding, and like we both like lifting strong too, like power builder kind of thing. But we do have different, like I'm probably going to enter a powerlifting meet next year, and she's doing a bodybuilding competition this year. So it's also like
our programs are different.
Yes.
And we both have a coach, both different coaches. So our workouts are programmed differently. But when we do see each other at the gym, we socialize a little between sets.
Yes. And I mean, I have been known, because my coach had me on 2 rest days a week. I would go in on that 6th day and I would be like, hey, Hannah, what are you working out today? Okay, I'll do that too. And so we'll get our workouts in together sometimes, but it's not on a regular basis type thing.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I feel you though. It's hard to take more than like 1 rest day a week. Like I know people say take at least 1, but like, you know, if I take 2 or 3 rest days a week, I feel like I'm sitting around. Like I need to be there, right? You know, training is more than just the physical benefits of training. It's the mental and all the other stuff that we talked about earlier.
Yes. Yeah. The endorphins. And since we became friends, we've really extended our group of friends. I would say, like, we had a Christmas party and it was only gym people, and we had 15 people there. Like, we have our gym friends, and it's like, I need to go see those people because that's the only time I go see them. Even though we all love each other, we all have busy lives, and that's our one consistent every day where it's just like, this is nice. Like, we're all together. So
yeah, you have like gym regulars.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago, I actually saw an older dude, probably mid 50s or 60s, walk through the front door of our gym holding a deadlift bar. which do you know the difference between just a regular
like the hex bar?
No, so a deadlift bar is different from a straight, like a stiff bar, because
it has some slack in it.
It bends
Oh,
a
okay.
little longer and thinner.
It's for powerlifting.
Longer and thinner.
It's
Okay.
the only time you use them is like if you're a power lifter, if you're deadlifting.
So typically they don't have them at gyms just because it's just not necessary. But I just thought it was so interesting that I'm walking out of the locker room and I just see this guy come in like holding an entire deadlift bar, walking through the gym back to like go deadlift, which I just thought was hilarious.
Me and that guy, we have very different definitions of BYOB. His is bring your own barbell. Mine is not bring your own barbell.
No, yeah, it's awesome. There was multiple people that would do that when I worked at a gym. When I worked at Crunch, there was people that would bring in their own bars. There was like some people that would bring in like their own like ab rollers, stuff like that, of course. But it's just like, it's interesting to see how prepared some people are.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just funny to watch.
Yeah, like I mean, they have to bring like a whole truck to like fit a barbell.
Yeah, and at what point would it just be better for you to like buy a power rack and work out at home if you've already got the bar?
That's true.
So you mentioned that it's interesting to see what people bring to the gym. What do you two bring to the gym? Like, what's in your gym bag?
What's in your
I have
bag?
so much stuff in my gym bag. See, the thing is, I leave all my equipment in my car and I'll just pick what I'm working on that day. So I bring my own clips, my own chalk, my own resistance bands, of course, like my pump products, my pre-workout, my creatine, my belt. I have a powerlifting belt, and I also have like one that you would like a dip weighted belt. I bring that, a barbell pad.
So tell me about the weighted dip belt, because I am a big fan of weighted pull-ups and weighted dips, but I very rarely meet anyone female, and maybe this is stereotyping, maybe this is just like my limited experience in the gyms that I've gone to, but I've almost never met a girl who's doing weighted pull-ups and weighted dips.
Yeah, it's not, I would say like, I don't see a lot of girls doing them either, but I think they're fun. So I was terrible at body, like anything body weight. Like this time last year, I wasn't great at push-ups. My form was not great. Pull-ups, I could only do like 3 and I would be done for. Dips, I could do like 8 and I'd be done for. And so my big goal for 2021 was to get better at all 3 of those things. And so I worked on them every week. And then about March to April, I was where I could do like 3 sets of 10 of everything with good form. And I was like, well, how do I make this harder? Oh, add weight to them. And so that's what I started doing around October. And then Crunch would have a belt that I could use. And so I would use that. And then when I started going to Athens Health to work out with her and all of our other friends, they didn't have a belt. So I just ordered one on Amazon and was like, yep, this is what we're doing now. So
she's good at them too. You should see it. She's crazy. She'll throw a 45 on there and just start doing dips.
We'll have to compare TikToks here at some point. I love weighted pull-ups and weighted dips. Like I joke that it's like 80% of my workout for upper body, right? You know, like
it's just fun.
Some guys will do like bench press and rows and just, you know, keep going with that stuff. I'm just like, look, give me push-ups, pull-ups, and dips, and give me a way to load them very heavy, and I'm happy. Like that's all I need.
It's a fun time. I never realized how fun they were, but it was something I could never do. And then when I could do it body weight, I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel accomplished. And now it's like I'm adding weights to them. And like you said, just not a lot of people do them in general. So it's just like, it's cool that I've transformed my body to be able to do that. Because when I first started working out 3 years ago, I couldn't curl 5-pound dumbbells. And so it's very like just a self-motivating, like I did that.
Yeah, it's an incredible journey, and it speaks a lot to the value of personal development, right? Like we said before, working on yourself. And I mean, there's always another mountain for you to climb, right? Next for you could be like muscle ups, and now you're going to be known as like the muscle up girl or something like that.
She almost can do one.
You can almost do one. We literally got the same thing. Like our friends were doing them, and they're like, "Y'all try them," and we got halfway, and we're like, the whole like. From here to like flipping your elbows up on top of the bar, our bodies can't do that.
Yeah, people who do like calisthenics and stuff just amaze me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't realize, like, you think you're strong, and then you see that kind of thing, and you're like, well, that shouldn't be hard.
Like they're holding themselves on a flagpole, and it's like,
incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been one of my goals as well, is like I can do like some of the stuff like the muscle ups, the one arm pull up, we check those boxes, but like the handstands, like that amazes me. And I can't do a handstand against a wall, let alone like walk on my hands. And that's where you mentioned CrossFit before, which I have opinions on CrossFit that I won't say, but I do tip my hat to the ones that can, do the handstand walks for like 40, 50 feet and make it look effortless.
The handstand push-ups, I can do
Yeah.
that on a wall, but I can't balance enough to not do it on a wall and just to go up. How do you keep your body in the line? I don't know. My center of gravity is not there, I guess.
Well, Kristy, Hannah, this has been a awesome conversation about all things related to fitness and, well, some things not related to fitness. Do you have any closing thoughts or closing remarks for people who are listening?
I do have one thing that I wish I would have not told myself a year ago. It's just, if you feel pushed or pulled to do something, if you want to do it, whether that's posting or like reaching out and making friends or just being nice to someone. We've made so many friends with just guys coming up to us and be like, y'all are rich. And it's like, well, now we're best friends.
Yeah.
Like, go compliment somebody. If you want to post, go do it, because it's just like, no one's judging you. It's just go do what makes you happy. And there's going to be good things that come of it always.
Yeah. If someone, like, if you think, like, if someone came up to the gym and said something to you and it would make you feel good, like, definitely go and say that to them, and it could lead to something more.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I like that takeaway. Go and do what makes you happy, whatever floats your boat, whatever rattles your cage, whatever waves your flag, so to speak. So, some people, like I personally function best, like I said earlier, low carb, and that involves like a lot of meat. Other people are going to be the complete opposite and they're going to go vegan. Other people are going to go high carb. Some people, like I like my heavy compound lifts, like I talked about before. Some people would rather do 80% of their workout as isolation exercises, right? Hammer curls and tricep push downs for arm day, and that's it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the process, fall in love with the process, and be amazed at the incredible people you meet along the way, just like Kristy and Hannah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, healthy looks different for everybody.
Yeah, it's not cookie cutter. It's
everybody like has their own thing. Like some people just like running, and it's just like that's their version of health, and like that's amazing for them. Like at least they found that.
Yeah. Do you don't run, do you?
I hate running. No.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I had a running phase. In fairness, I was dating a runner at the time. And the one day she didn't make me, but I felt slightly pressured to run with her. We went 10 miles.
Oh, red flag.
Never.
Oh, and it gets better. So we did 3 miles when we woke up. And I was like, look, it's leg day. I'm not skipping leg day for, running. So I went and hit legs. She took a nap, which, good for her. I would have loved to do the same. And then I came back in and she's like, okay, so now we got to do the 7-mile workout. And I was like, wait a second, the 3 miles wasn't enough. She's like, no, we have to do 10 miles today because I'm doing 70 miles this week. And I was just like, is this like healthy? She's like, well, we have to be able to run fast. So the more you run, the faster you run, apparently. I'm not an expert in running by any means. But yeah, we ran 10 miles that day. And it's certainly been something I've looked for. I don't gravitate towards the runners anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I've ran 10 miles in my life.
Yeah,
compiled together.
Honestly, same. Like I ran one 5K one time, and it was for a charity event, and I did it, and I was like, that is a one and done. I will never do that again.
Yeah, or like the color run, right? Like the color run seems fun.
Yes.
But like people who go out and like competitively run, and like maybe it's just my experience, but I've never seen a runner at the end of a race smiling and cheery and happy. They're all like, they're either about to puke, currently puking, or they're on the ground just like, KO'd for a while.
Yes, I'm like, that runner's high that everyone talks about. I wish I had it. I do, because heart health, all that good stuff, but I don't have it, and I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. Well, you can get cardio in other ways. Like you said, you walk on the treadmill, or, maybe you go to the gym and you jump on the Stairmaster and throw the booty band on and hit out, 20, 25 minutes, and you count that as cardio. But like I've even done like kettlebell swing circuits in the past where it's like every minute on the minute, do 30 kettlebell swings, and that'll kick your butt in minutes.
That's like
So
the classes that I taught. They were high intensity interval training, but I worked in like muscle or strength training with them. And I would do that with my class, but I'm like, this is hard.
yeah.
Like high intensity is hard. I like low steady state where we get the gossip. That's my
Yeah.
form of cardio.
Yeah, and I feel like girls, especially in the industry today, like get too caught up in cardio, like they call them cardio bunnies, just because they feel more comfortable standing on a treadmill and doing their own thing rather than moving around in the gym and trying to, do their workout and feel like there's other people judging them or that they might be doing something wrong or things like that. So it's comfortable to them and they know how to do it to get on the treadmill and run. But in reality, like you might get to your dream physique quicker doing something different than that. Yeah. You will get to your dream physique quicker.
And that's where it's
running.
it's
Like,
important.
I mean, you're just not going to build a good, like solid, like muscle is attractive. And muscle is how like you shape your body. And that's what girls look for. And they're like, oh, I just need to lose weight and get skinnier. It's like, actually, you'll never be curvy if you're just.
Right. And that's where it's important to get like a coach and someone who knows what they're doing, right? Like you're a certified personal trainer and you have a coach, right? Like sometimes it helps to get someone who knows what they're doing to help you out along that journey.
No, exactly.
Well, and it's hard to coach yourself because emotions take over.
Yes.
Like for me, bodybuilding, like could I have coached myself? Maybe. Yeah. But 3 or 4 weeks into prep, I'm not going to be feeling like programming my own workouts and things like that because the emotions are going to take over.
Yeah, especially like with powerlifting, it's like I don't necessarily feel like I want to go pull 275 pounds off the ground today, but it's like, hey, coach told me to, so I have to.
Well, Kristy, Hannah, it's been a pleasure having both of you. Really thankful for your time and looking forward to working with both of you again in the future.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was fun.